TDS has a lot of unique tower designs. What I think helps TDS have a very diverse cast of towers are, of course, their designs, function, but that really isn't important right now for this video. What is which towers commit war crimes. So to lay some groundwork, we are not counting on actions. For example, you can't shoot on medical personnel. So we're only doing their weaponry, and a couple of other things here and there. Lastly, if there are any mistakes I made, comment down below. We're starting from the beginner towers to the event towers. Scout. Scout is legal throughout all levels, starting with the Beretta 92 at level 0, upgrading to a Sig Saucer P320 at level 3, and eventually dual wielding the P320, all of which are lawful good weapons. Scout, being our first tower, is of course legal. Sniper. The Sniper remains fully compliant with international laws, using a Remington 700 at level 0 to 2, an accuracy AWM at level 3, and a Barrett at level 4. Just like Scout, he is very much legal compared to some of the other towers on this list. Paintballer is legal as paintballs are legal in war, but the tower itself, don't use them. Ever. All weapons used by the Demo Man are legal under international war regulations, so no violations here. At this point, I'm just gonna start skipping over any legal towers and go straight to the illegal. Soldier, Militant, and Hunter. Since none of these towers commit any war crimes, they are skipped. On to the intermediate towers. The Medic is the first tower to clearly commit war crimes. By using harmful syringes, Medic violates the Biological Weapons Convention, which bans the use of chemical and biological weapons in warfare. Additionally, the syringes inflict unnecessary suffering, which violates the Hague Conventions. At level 5, Medic uses a staff that could potentially blind the enemies, falling under CCW Protocol 5, which prohibits blinding laser weapons. Thus, Medic is guilty of multiple violations and is officially a war criminal. Freezer. Although freezing people is not explicitly covered by any international laws, it is likely that Freezer would be classified as a war criminal. Considering if you can't burn people alive, I don't think you could freeze them to death. Farm is a weird and long case. The legality hinges on how its profits are used. If the farm's earnings are used to support legal military activities like, say, upgrading scouts or snipers, it remains legal. However, if the profits are used into supporting war crimes or illegal activities such as upgrading illegal towers, it then becomes a war crime. This makes farm a borderline case. It could be legal or illegal depending on its use. We're skipping over Shotgunner and Rocketeer since they're both legal, and we head to Trapper. Trapper is a fully illegal tower as it utilizes anti-personnel landmines and booby traps targeting human bodies, which are banned under the Inhumane Weapon Convention, Protocol 2. The use of such devices in warfare is considered inhumane due to the indiscriminate harm they cause, making Trapper another war criminal. Pyromancer uses incendiary weapons to burn enemies alive, which is a violation of Protocol 3 of the Inhumane Weapon Convention. The use of fire as a weapon, especially when designed to cause extreme suffering or unnecessary damage, is banned under international law. Like Trapper, Pyromancer is another war criminal. Military bases on level 1 to 4 are completely fine. It is just a car and a tank. Level 5 is where the problem begins. See, it uses a railgun to shoot, and railguns are legal in war, but in game, it shoots a giant blue laser which could fall under the blinding laser category, just like another tower later on. Skipping over a couple of towers, we move on to the advanced tower section. Commander is a questionable case, as he seems to be legal in game, but his role as a commander raises some questions. Being a commander means he has authority over the other towers, such as Medic and Pyromancer, which use legal weapons. You could argue that Commander is directly responsible for allowing these towers to commit war crimes, as he gives orders and supports their use. However, it is also the player themselves who places the towers, which complicates if the commander is a war criminal or not. For now, in this video, I will consider Commander legal, but there's potential for his responsibility in war crimes depending on how you interpret him. Just like farm, Cowboy's legality depends on how his profits are used. If the money he earns is used in funding illegal activities or supporting war crimes, Cowboy becomes legal. However, if his profits are used for lawful military purposes, such as upgrading illegal towers like, say, shotgunner or maybe minigunner, then Cowboy remains fully legal with international law. This makes him a tower which his legality hinges entirely on how he uses resources. Just like the military base, Ranger uses a railgun on all levels. While railguns are legal in war, the issue arises from the light blue blinding damn laser that he shoots, which could fall under the ban on blinding laser weapons in CCW Protocol 5. Is that 5? No, Protocol 4, sorry. Mortar is perfectly legal at level 1 to 3, as it uses standard explosive weaponry. However, at levels 4 to 5, it starts deploying cluster bombs which are banned under Protocol 5 of the explosive remnants of war. Again, we'll be skipping the remaining advanced towers as they don't commit any war crimes, and move on to the last few towers on this list: hardcore towers and event towers. Auxiliary is the only hardcore tower that commits a war crime. In the story description, it reads, charges a laser and releases massively damage at deadly rates. And as stated in previous section of this video, very bright lasers have the potential to blind the enemies, making Accelerator a war criminal. Moving on to the last and final section of the video are the event towers: Frost Blaster, Cryomancer, and Sledger. I'm grouping these three due to their abilities to freeze enemies and the legal implications surrounding their weaponry. Like Freezer, these towers employ freezing methods that could be viewed as cruel treatment of the enemies. The potential for inflicting severe harm through extreme cold raises ethical concerns under international laws governing warfare. These three towers find themselves in a cold freezing water with ice. Get it? Alright, let's move on. Toxic Gunner. Toxic Gunner uses an acid-based weapon to slow down and damage zombies, which raises serious legal issues. This kind of weapon falls under Protocol 3, which would land Toxic Gunner in acid water. Get it? I repeated the joke. Get it? Jester, ironically enough, is a tower that commits the most war crimes. At levels 0 to 1, he uses bombs to ignite enemies on fire, which falls under Protocol 3, prohibiting incendiary weapons. At level 2, while he doesn't freeze the enemy, he does make them a little cold, which slows them down. By the rules established earlier in the freezer section, this makes level 2 illegal. On level 3, Jester employs potent bombs that are classified as chemical warfare, further adding to his list of offenses. At level 4, he uses confusion bombs, which are less clear in terms of legality. I'll just assume they're legal for now. Overall, Jester's weaponry and tactics showcase a blatant disregard for the rules of warfare, making him a prime example of a war criminal committing 3 whole war crimes in just a single section. Thank you so much for watching this video. Comment down below something stupid like banana, and go subscribe and like this video if you want. Peace.